Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you my actual GRE score. I'm a little nervous because I've never shown my score to anyone except my parents. But okay, I'm going to show you my scores because that's the score that you can get when you follow my channel and follow my daily GRE videos as an international student. So when you go to the ETS website, you can see this page and click on GRE. You can log in with your ETS account. I'm gonna log in right here. And you can get to this webpage, My GRE Home. In this webpage, you can register your GRE test, and you can see all your upcoming tests and get some test preparation materials. There are free ones and there are materials that you can buy on this webpage. I'm gonna talk about that in later video. And then there you can see your scores. You can view your scores and send your scores to another school, and you can see how exactly you did perform on particular GRE exam. I'm gonna go through this GRE Diagnostic Service later in this video. Let's first see my score right here. Let's see my score, and yep, that's my score right there. I got a 164 on verbal reasoning, and 170 on quantitative reasoning, and my least favorite score, 4.0 on analytical writing. 4.0 in analytical writing. In percentile, I got 94% in verbal reasoning. That means only the 6% got the score above 164. And I got 96% on quantitative reasoning, which means only the 4% got the perfect score, 170. And 4.0 in analytical writing, and that's 57%, which means only the 43% got a score above 4.0. So yeah, that's my least favorite score. But what I heard is that it is somewhat very hard to get a score above 4.5 or 5.0 as an international student, because even American students cannot get the score of 5.0 or 6.0 that easily. They have to prepare some amount of time. And international students should even devote much more time to get an even greater score. So I think I have to get satisfied with this 4.0 score as an international student. But, I don't like it anyway, so that's my score right there. 164, 170, and 4.0. That is a score that you can get when you follow my daily GRE videos and subscribe to my channel. And you can get this score as an international student. So let's see how exactly I did perform in that test. You can see that in GRE Diagnostic Service. I did it in February 14, 2020. And we click on this registration number. Welcome to GRE Diagnostic Service. And you can see the data of verbal and quantitative reasoning. Let's first see the verbal. You can see the question type, whether I got right or wrong, and the difficulty level of the particular question and the time I spent to solve that problem. There are reading comprehension, longer passage, reading comprehension, shorter passage, text completion, and sentence equivalence. And what I did is I got 3 of them wrong. I got all of the short reading comprehension questions right, and one of the text completion wrong, and half of the sentence equivalence question wrong. And you can see this difficulty level that it is almost an average 3. We can only see the 5, difficulty level 5 in 1, 2, 3. Only 3 of them are the hardest one. 0 being 1 being the easiest, 5 being the hardest, and there are only 3 questions of difficulty level 5. And the average is among 3, difficulty level 3. That's the first section of verbal reasoning. And I did, not the best, but quite well on this first section. And let's see the second section. Let's see the difficulty level right here, and we can see much more harder questions right here. Difficulty level 5, one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got almost 10. The hardest problem, 10 questions. So the difficulty level gets harder, gets higher. That is the ETS technology. So I did pretty well in this test. I got only one question wrong in longer passage. I got all of the short passage questions right, and 2 of the text completion wrong, and all of the sentence equivalents correct. So even though it was a difficult section with a lot of hard questions in here, I did pretty good job. So I got as you saw, a 164 in this verbal reasoning section. Let's now see quantitative section right here. And as you can see, I got almost all of the questions of first section right. And in the second section, I got one question wrong. Although I got this question wrong, I still got 170 on quantitative reasoning section. So you can see the time I spent on each question and difficulty level right here. So as you can see, just like the verbal section, the average difficulty level of the first section of quantitative reasoning, it is almost average 3. But if you get to the second section, the difficulty level rises because I did well on the first section. If you didn't do well in the first section, then the difficulty level will decrease. It adapts to your ability. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hardest questions, and I think at the average difficulty level is about a 4 or 5. So that's how I did on quantitative reasoning, and as a result, I got a 170 on quantitative reasoning. So that's all. That was my score and how I exactly did on the test. So what I'm trying to say here is that even if you are not confident with your English, or even if you are not an American, even if you are an international student with English as a second language, you can still get a score of 164, 165 on verbal reasoning. So you don't have to be nervous. You just have to be confident about your ability to learn a second language. And I hope you see you next time. Thanks a lot.